take it out themselves.
Does Kamboja want to commit fully onto this jungle ban?
I'd be okay with it. Yeah,
There you
Nolan, there you go. You take out one good burst. And this is going to be a different playing field now for Indonesia. Vival won't end up with a big star jungler that we have right now unless she has a Lancelot also in her hands.
Force on a tier 2.
Fanny's open.
Oh, right, you're right.
And Cambodia have to commit to that Fanny counter right here, right now with these 2 picks. Edith is still open.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the Edith would be good. And I think that's why Indonesia saved their jungle pick for last. If they decide to go Edith here, then maybe that makes a Fanny a little bit happier because you don't have that hard catch anymore.
Unless Cambodia, I know you don't like it, but they still can go Hilda, or they can go for Franco here. Franco Beatrix, maybe?
Fanny the Hilda isn't a full-on counter, but Yui can just keep throwing bodies.
With the presence of the Khalid and the high loss on the map, plus the Vexana, that might be tough. So they still go for the Edith, and they get the Bruno. I feel like that's more of a block pick for Shell. Good damage distribution.
It's good laning against the Moskov.
But the Fanny that you mentioned, if this is a Fanny, it might be tough.
Fanny or a Twist, a totally unexpected pick.
Like your Bane.
Do I like the Bane?
What are her options here?
We still haven't seen Julian at all. But I think... No, Julian might be okay. But
they have room for magic.
Yeah, they have room for magic. But if Moskov is their only physical, maybe it might be better to go for Assassin. Because I'm already happy with what the high loss and the Vexana can do. You're going to have a Thunderbelt and the Khalid anyway. So the damage distribution is good. Maybe just a little bit more burst. Oh, there we go, yeah.
That makes sense.
Debut Julian in
Yeah.
all of WEC.
Haven't seen her all throughout.
We talked about it time and time again. And it only took until the grand finals, guys, for it to pop up.
Finally.
Kudos to Coach Taimigo, though, and the rest of Team Cambodia for stretching out Vival's hero pool.
Yeah.
And for making Coach Cassius think, hey, is it worth it to go Fanny here? And they instead, go for some magic. They have room for it. And wave clear.
Yeah. And I like the combination that they have with the high loss Vexana and the Julian in the center of the map. That increases their chance of honestly dominating the first 5 minutes of the game. If Cambodia aren't careful, if they get caught out with great crowd control, the late entry by the Edith with a Primal Wrath from the EXP lane might just not be enough. And Cambodia might actually get surprised here. They have to be super careful.
Yeah, key for me is the fact that Indonesia have so much initiative. It's so easy for them to go 1-2 CC, blow you up.
Yeah.
I think Cambodia have to time that very well. They have to watch out for when these key skills come through.
There's going to be a sliver that Cambodia really needs to perfect for our first and opening game for our grand finals. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going straight into the land of dawn and back to the casters. Nice, Mirko. Take us away.
We are almost there, Eterna. Thank you so much, Renmar and Leo, to break down our draft for game number 1. And remember, it's a best of 3 in the grand final here. Again, I'm Naisu, and this is Mirko, and we're bringing you the action for this grand final. It's been 4 days of battling here for the women to bring it up for the championship. And now what's on the line is this best of 3. And we know, we've talked about this a lot of times here, Mirko, how important game number 1 is to get your foot out the door in this series. Is it going to be Cambodia or will it be Indonesia? We'll find out. Game 1, best of 3. Both teams, they've made their way up to this point. We've seen Cambodia's rise through the ranks and now finding themselves once again in this grand final against the tournament favorite. Early invade already. Look at the pressure. Whoa.
First blood. Takami's going to be taken down. What's going on around the purple buff? Purple buff not taken. That'll definitely delay a whole lot of this early game farm for Takami. Julian already taking the orange buff, and it'll be Takami starting on the purple buff because of that. Despite the fact that they already used Revitalize, that's 2 flickers too. Burned down. That was a 2v3.
A whole lot. I mean, wow. Talking about value for Indonesia to start things off. Yeah, that was Fumi Echo. She's playing this Khalid here. That, for the longest time, a lot of people have seen it in the roam, they've seen it in XP, but that is a ton of value, especially the fact that Fumi Echo gets that early kill, so she's going to have a minor advantage And you can see this. They're still paying attention on this side of the jungle of Cambodia. Just kind of showing face, want to put pressure.
Stun coming down, no flicker on Navi, might be a solo kill. Vivian, this takes down the Aurora. Uwe going in again with the damage, but Fumi Echo is gone. The blades back up again. It's Vivian on the high-lows, getting a double and essentially shutting down Cambodia early.
Man, Indonesia, they have something else in mind for this game. Number one, already a minute and a half in, 3 kills.
They're aggro.
They're aggro. This is the aggro deck if this was a card game, because right now they're further in that lead, almost 2K up at this point. And, you know, that's tough because with Cambodia, with the lineup that they brought to this table, this is not the start you want to have. You don't want to start with your backs against the wall already, especially when you have a Hayabusa. You know, Hayabusa, you're not going to have the greatest time at going and contesting this first objective. So, ideally, you just give it up. You let Indonesia take it. You look for something else elsewhere, and that's exactly what Cambodia will do here. First turtle of the game worked on by Indonesia. They'll secure that. You know, you've got the shadow kill available. They might try to make a play, maybe if they can find one, but so far Indonesia is going to spot that out.
You get to see, oh, good onward, over to City, has the flicker, gets out to safety, gets a Terrify down in the Curse Blast too, so Nabi actually will be the one taking a big shot there. But like you said, Naisu, Indonesia, it does look like it is the case, better for Cambodia. It's all about just trading at this point of the game, right? Losing the first few battles, and then, never mind, Vivian's going to continue this. Loader his pathway over to Tagami. Also trying to escape, having revitalized in. The SOD almost connecting. Tagami should be able to take this down. Vivian should not be able to survive this. Quad Shadow in, that's a kill for Tagami. Meanwhile, though, all that time was used for the Purple Belt to get taken down. The Eternal Guard catches Tagami, and the Cursed Blast will poke her down.
All part of the plan, says Vivian in Indonesia. Not only that, but they'll rotate up here. Look at all this gold going in the pockets of Indonesia. They'll go ahead and stall out Moshi a little bit longer, waiting for Yui to make her way, but that gold plate already gone.
Everything.
They're gonna force a fight here. I don't know if they can. Cambodia, I mean, even with the ability to go ahead and take down Vivian earlier on, they still find themselves at a deficit, you know, 2,000 gold to work against. And Tagami, if she loses her buffs like that, that's gonna be tough.
That's annoying, though. The fact that Vivol took the purple buff, but she didn't clear it out fully, right? So Tagami will have to do it. Now it's going to be kind of delayed from spawning back in the game. Really good stuff from Indonesia, man. On the Julian, 2 levels ahead already. Because of the first blood, delaying the purple buff take, and then earlier, buying time for Vivol to steal it away. This is going to be a big problem coming into the later stage of the game. Cine, waiting in the bush. See, Terrified Sun, Eternal Guard, and wow, combo with the chain too, and City just takes that kill away with the Eternal Guard swinging the sword.
She even popped the Revitalize, man. Like, there was, even with the Revitalize and as a tankier hero, she just got blasted. And now Indonesia will continue to take more here on the bottom side, even more gold once again. They start up the objective right now, full control. I'm not sure if Moshi can really do much. He's looking to call the team, trying to keep this turret up. Yui jumps in, but ultimately nothing. And that's another turtle objective for Indonesia. We have to start talking about where can Cambodia turn this around? What can they do? They're 3.5 thousand behind already, under the 5-minute mark. What are they waiting for? Where do they find? Oh, Yui Fendi.
Oh, waiting on the Purify too. Yeah, Cindy didn't have the Eternal Guard there, so there was no kill threat, but the fact that she just appeared out of nowhere there.
Yeah, a little 1-2. You know, that's all she needed.
Made it as though she had to just kind of force out the Purify there. But yeah, I don't know, man. The Gatot Kacha, wait, mid lane might be caught again.
Oh.
And has Chain to knock her up. One basic attack with the Curse Blast. Navi getting the Frigid Glacier onto 3. Now the Quad Shadow over to Fumi Echo. But Terrified disengages for Fumi Echo. Sydney with a great PO on the bottom lane is 1v1 here. SOD thrown away. Sydney, oh sorry, Chell will be solo killed down below by the XP lane.
Good thing for Moshi to pick that up. You know, stop the bleeding a little bit, but still the big apparent issue right now is Tagami has not had much control in her jungle. You're looking at it, she's only got a Hunter Strike. And, you know, with all the gold that Vivil's been able to get herself, you know, she's already got the wings, she's working on the next item. But that's enough. A lot of times all we see is this interaction between dropping down enhanced chains, really. And the fact that you also have an Eternal Guard. I mean, look how much damage has been done here by Cine already. And that's what's difficult, because even when you're just the crowd control alone, but then you're trying to escape and you're slowed down with Glorious Pathway, it's very difficult to play against that. Even when you're thinking, oh, I'm safe under my turret. No, you're not. Now in the mid lane, they're still putting the pressure 20 seconds away from that turtle, and right now it's just Cambodia scratching for whatever they can find across the map. Shell, she's going to be by herself. She should be fine. Still has a Purify. Might try to make a play down here. They're going to trade possibly objective for maybe a kill. Cambodia doesn't want to contest these right now, but Shell's holding her own. Yui Fendi finally working on the turret.
Moshi in the mid lane trying to just save this turret here. That's a golden staff already, 6 minutes in for Chell. Bottom lane will be a turret for Yui Fendi, so at least they get a few more objectives down to trade it for the turtle. But Vivo's still 2 levels ahead of Tagami, and essentially Tagami, I don't know, man. When you're behind on a Hayabusa, it feels just, it really feels bad. Especially considering you're up against a Julian who has so much consistent damage. It's like it's a DPS. I don't know. You can kind of say that he's DPS, but it's kind of bursty too. It's a different kind of damage, I would say, right? For the assassin, for Hayabusa, it's way more bursty, and the fact that you're behind now will give so much more room for all the squishy backliners, Cine and Chell, to even get some more magic defense, or sorry, physical defense, so that they could deal with Tagami. And the big problem for Yue here on the God of Kacha is the fact that Gotham's really good against physical. But against magical, it's all the same. Vivian, Glory's path. Wait, the stun doesn't connect in time. That's a flicker from Nabi.
Wow. Flicker and ult. They might have even possibly gotten the Revitalize out, but at least Yue holds on to that. Moshi, I'm not sure if she's going to get chased any further, but you're just seeing Indonesia. They're just kind of like, fight me. You know, come on, Cambodia, we want to fight. Because they know that they have the advantage right now in terms of raw power and everything else. And Cambodia has to play this smart. Like you mentioned, with Hayabusa, you're down like this in levels. You're not getting many buffs. You kind of just have to force yourself to just go farm up, you know, get what you need. And then maybe, like I would say, even to the point.
Wow.
That's interesting. Skypiercer, despite everything going on. So Skypiercer's picked up. She is a focus once again on this top side here from Indonesia.
People's just on the turret. Radiant Sandstorm from Fumieko will not find anyone. That's a quicker out of the Frigid Glacier as Vivian pops and Revitalize to survive. SOD all the way from the bottom lane. Moshi so wanted to go in, gets caught by Eternal Card. The back line is going to be a lot of damage. Plays on the Nabi somehow. The passive already used up. Yue in the midst of it all. Now just bursts it down. Vivian claims the kill. Now it's Vivo who walks up forward with the sword. Now the chain to knock Yui Fendi up, baiting the Purify, and now it's a chase. Fumieko with the blade, and that's City predicting the slide tackle to get the killing spree.
Right on top. They'll get the turret. Tagami was trying to get the buff. I'm not sure if she actually managed to give it, but right now it's the tier 2 falling. Indonesia, massive lead. They can take nearly everything they want. The shield is going to pop in the mid lane, and that Lord is ready for the taking. And at this point, Cambodia, like I said, they won't be able to do anything at this time with this Lord. They have to get ready for the defense. I'm not sure even Yui Fendi, you know, if the damage is where she needs it to be. Her and Tagami both really lacking in that department. So if a forced fight happens from Indonesia with this first Lord push, it's going to be really crucial that they somehow maintain that defensive formation and maybe even just rely on Nabi to drop down a proper Frigid Glacier to allow them to buy time. Because really, you can't even send anyone to just kind of split push. You know, you can't send Yui Fendi by herself in the top lane to push that out. You kind of just need everyone to help defend this. As now Indonesia will go ahead and knock down at that bottom at tier 2. Vivian getting a little more tanky. Picks up a Radiant Armor. This is very difficult. Cambodia lacking damage, now faced against a defensive lineup. Already locked in a front lineup from Indonesia. Lord's going to make its way down the mid. Tagami goes in.
Yeah, we can see the Revitalize already. Chell, I don't know if she has defensive items. No, she doesn't. Only the Warrior Boots. It's enough just because of how behind Tagami is. Eternal Guard placed down to go and try to zone them away now. Moshi to be terrified. Popping the Primal Wrath is ready. Yui Fendi going for the shots. The Frigid Glacier committed down as well. Turret still intact. Tagami in the back line. Not able to get the Raging Sandstorm there. Fumieko to catch Tagami. But there was also no shadow kill from Tagami. So no kill threat. The Cannon Minion is desperately trying to get that turret down. And it's so low. But Indonesia will have to be happy with just that push in.
So they keep it together. They maintain that mid turret. Surprisingly so. Wings now picked up here by Nabi.
Divine Glaive.
Divine Glaive though by Vivo. This is very terrifying if Cambodia gets caught into enhanced chains or any kind of setup. And so, you know, they're just fighting for the buff. So,
the Terrorblade too with the Curse Blast. City gets a kill from out of nowhere. Fumieko walking up. SOD barely hitting there. The passive down, the Curse Blast connecting earlier. City again gets the Terrify. Combos it in with a Curse Blast. Bivol in the midst of it all with the Enhanced Sword, a bit too overextended, and will be taken out by Moshi with the Primal Wrath.
I think they're still going to go try to focus down this turret if they can. Even that mid turret, 1 HP away. Yui will keep them at bay though, so against it all, Cambodia holds on to all base turrets. But you're seeing this, man. The damage charts are insanity for Cine. Time and time again with the Curse Blast, able to just land that combination so well, whether she has an Eternal Guard or not. Her damage profile is absolutely insane. And at this point, Cambodia, even if they want to fight, even if they want to try to go ahead and stall some of these out, it's so difficult to a point where, you know, where do we even start for Cambodia? And part of it is continuing to build up the items that they need. Looks like we're going to take a short pause here to go ahead and get things situated. So, yeah, let's play with the idea here. Cambodia is down 8,000, almost 9,000 gold at the 12-minute mark. The next Lord, do they just give it up? Do they just let that go and continue to stay in the base?
At this point, I feel like they just have to fight Naisu. Their composition isn't really built to defend, right? The Hayabusa, the Aurora as well. These are team fighting picks.
Yeah.
The Bruno is the only person who can really clear. I guess if you use Primal Wrath too, but again, if you have to use a Primal Wrath for the Lord, that makes room for everybody else to just dive on you, right? So I think at this point, you just have to try to fight it out. This composition wasn't built to defend. And the problem is right now, even if they try to play the macro game, they can't. Who are you going to send into the side lane? Bruno, Yui Fendi, who's so behind compared to the Moscow, compared to Chell, who's always going to be the one sent by Indonesia towards the far lane. And then you have Hayabusa, that obviously can be a way to push out the side lanes, but Wind of Nature is already built. You can see there from the items of Chell. Wind of Nature already. 3 items plus Wind of Nature at the 12-minute mark. The Endless Battle will certainly help against the Wind of Nature, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually 1v1 Chell. So try to group up, stay decisive, look for an initiation, right? If it doesn't happen, then sure. You can always go next game, but if they just go and defend, I think that's riskier than actually going for a fight.
See if they can pull it off. Knowing how far behind they are here at this point, Cambodia might have to go for even a Hail Mary play at some point. Malefic Gun being picked up by Yui Fendi. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get any of the control around this that they want. It's already been quickly worked on, and that's the Lord. Secured by Bivol. Yui just going to get chased down a little bit, but ultimately, you know, whether it's a good thing or not, man, they're going to have to defend in their base. They're going to have to make this work either way. And like we saw, you know, we got a glimpse of it. Even though they were down earlier on quite a bit, they still managed to stay in the game. They still managed to hold on to the base turrets. At least that, you know, that mid turret is pretty much going to be gone this next push in. But still, Cambodia, we've seen them do pretty amazing things. You know, even the previous series and matches that they've had, maybe this is an opportunity for them to go ahead and do it again, depending on how they approach this fight. And even Indonesia, you know, we've seen them make a little bit of some oversteps in the previous matches, but I think this one, it's just, they have such a big lead. They have such a good composition that that window of messing things up is so small right now. So Indonesia gets ready. Knock on the doors, Eternal Guard drop down.
Oh, the glorious pathway too. Trying to bait out the resources in the bottom lane so that the Lord can just charge in for free. 2 base turrets taken down up top as well. Bivol will pick it up now in a 1v1 against Sakami. Has the quad shadow to escape. Vivian with a stun down onto Moshi. Raging Sandstorm flicker into the back, finding Nami. The Bridge Glacier connects to the AOG, will be able to punish Momieko. That's Vivian falling too, and look at the damage! Takami with the Sky Piercer. Chell has the Wind of Nature, is able to survive. The big gamble for Takami paid off.
What just happened? Yeah, they lost all their base turrets, but 4 members of Indonesia go down. Talk about a defense and a turn of events for Cambodia. They got to play this right, though, because even with that, the members of Indonesia are going to be back up. They're going to be able to adjust, but Cambodia has to get what they can. They cleared out the lanes. They should be able to get some turrets to work with, but this puts them in a position, in a much better position for the next Lord a minute away. And that is a huge momentum and morale boost for their favor. They will be able to get quite a few items. I mean, once that team fight happened, you saw all those items being picked up for Cambodia. So, hey, you know what? Even if they struggled the past 13 minutes of this game, they stay in the game, they stay composed, and they made something work. Yui, She's going to go ahead and show face here. They're still 40 seconds away. The problem with this, even though that they had that massive defense, they still can't just send someone to push in the lane, right? They're initially stuck by playing together. Because even if Tagami goes and she tries to push one of the side lanes a little bit, Shell's going to show up, or she's going to be forced to go ahead and try to run away. And there's just so much initiation coming out from Indonesia where they can cut her off. And obviously, they don't want that to happen. Tagami?
Oh, the broad channel back again. Chell pops in with an nature in time. Takami's even caught in the Eternal Guard too. But Chell got the solo. Moshi now in a bad spot. Will be able to dish out some damage together with the Frigid Glacier. But that is two big resources. No Primal Wrath, no Frigid Glacier. The terrifying Moshi's immortality has been popped. And that was also...
Kayaknya salah deh. Baru, cuma roasted snack kentang panggang. Dipanggang, tidak digoreng. Enaknya ada Garuda. Yuk, pakai Bayu sekarang, biar kamu bebas, nggak gitu-gitu aja.
You still expose yourself, and now two members on the defense. Indonesia will let them deal with the waves pushing in, and they'll make their way for this Lord. So still, Cambodia will be in the game. They'll be full force on the defense. And honestly, it comes down to that. Can they actually rally once again to defend, even without base turrets, without any of that to support them up? Yui takes the spear. Shell's joining that. They know they want to go ahead and try to take this purple buff if they can. Some more big items were picked up on both sides with it. So Cambodia, have they been able to unlock the power that they need to actually go and win this team fight around? We know that the Wind of Nature was also used earlier on, and so that might be part of it. Some of the switching happening with the Winter Crowns and the Immortality, as we say it. There's Moshi picking up the Winter Crown. She might kind of have to just throw herself up the front and try to delay things out. Lord making its way in the mid as Indonesia walks this in. Notice the placement of Tagami. How do they approach this defense? The waves are pushing in.
They just have to save their resources for a moment to go for those big Frigid Glaciers, big Earth Shatters. So far, Primal Wrath used up. They found a miss of an outrageous Sandstorm connecting on the two, but it's purified out of. Now the AOG locking them down with Frigid Glacier 2. It's going to be Fumi Echo falling. City trying to go for the base right now as Moshi is still able to survive with a flicker as well. Winter Crown used up. Moshi with the onward, finding it onto City. It's a trade in the end. Tagami and Nabi now versus Vivo, Vivian and Chell. Vivo with the sword, Chell with the blink forward. Indonesia secure game 1 match point in the grand finals.
Championship point now for Indonesia.